I'm ready when you guys are. We'll wait for Stu. Or no? No. Okay. All right, the time is now 5:31 on May 6th, and the Community Development Committee meeting is called to order. Roll call, please.
Chairman Hayes.
Present.
Alderman Newsom.
Present.
Alderman Florian.
Present.
Alderman Donenworth.
Present.
Alderman Turner.
Present.
Thank you. May I please have a motion and a second for approval of the minutes of the April 1st, 2024 Community Development Committee meeting?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
First by Alderman Turner, second by Alderman Donenworth. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Not sure that's everyone. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? All right. Motion carries. Audience time. Is there anybody from the audience that wishes to address the committee about anything that is on the committee agenda? Sure.
I see you guys got an D. I'm talking about these mobile food vendors. They're everywhere. And now you guys just let them downtown Waukegan. I'm gonna reaffirm what Carlos told y'all. Think about the doors we opening. You got bars down there with alcohol. It's getting ready to be summertime. They see food out there, you think they're gonna bring their drinks outside those clubs? Do these clubs got security? Do you got enough security down there? What does that do to the restaurants that's out here? How do that hurt them? Like, we come up with these ideas because we see something and we like it just a little bit. And we don't sit back and think about how it's going to affect everything else. So now we becoming a city of a city of just letting businesses do whatever they want to do. They on every corner selling everywhere. Is the city making sure they got all their health department permits? We know the health department is short-staffed, so who's going to be going out to check? Really asking y'all to think about these things before y'all go and make this mass decision. Because we'll be back here and I'm going to say, I told y'all so.
Thank you, Mr. Edwards. Anyone else wish to address the committee about anything on the agenda? Okay, on to agenda item number 3, old business. Can I have a motion and a second for item 3A?
I'll make the motion.
First by Alderman Turner,
I'll second.
second by Alderman Donenworth. Agenda item A is an ordinance creating a Class F beer and wine liquor license for Indus USA Inc. DBA Waukegan Fruit Market located at 951 South Lewis Avenue. Are there any questions to the motion? Alderwoman Florian?
So according to the current ordinance, we can't issue this license, correct?
That's correct. Under our current ordinance, because this business, its state license lapsed, and so it was required to come in and get a new license. Right now, the distance between this property and I believe a school is less than 400 feet. So under the code, as it is today, this cannot be, a license cannot be issued for this. That said, at Committee of the Whole, there is a proposal to reduce the distance requirement from 400 feet to the 100 feet that is included, that is the default under state law. And also to change the measurement pursuant to the city's home rule powers, which would allow the distance measurement not to be measured property line to property line, but from front door to front door. So as the code stands right now, the committee cannot, or the city council could not approve this. If the city council would like to move this forward to, on the condition that it would only be considered if a further amendment is approved, you could do that tonight. But right now, as the code stands, this liquor license cannot be issued under the existing code.
Alderman Turner.
Stu, should we hold this over? So if this goes to the committee of the whole tonight, then it wouldn't come to council for another two weeks or another month, right?
This would not actually go, this would not go to committee of the whole. This would just go in 2 weeks to the city council. And
If we pass the change to the licensing ordinance, the distances, that's going to be talked about at the committee of the whole, and then on to the city council.
right, I think your point is that until that change is made, this really can't move forward. And advancing this without kind of the interdependent amendment doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Right, so that's what I'm suggesting or asking, should we hold this over until the meeting, either the meeting when the proposed changes to the distance ordinance are made, that same meeting, or to the next meeting?
That would be appropriate to do.
Okay.
I got a question. If you're going to make the motion, that's okay. But if it's on committee of the whole tonight, and some of the committee of the whole agenda items can proceed directly to council, if we move it out of our committee, it seems like then it would live in the general council meeting if it gets approved at committee of the whole, right? So we could move it out of our committee and potentially pass it tonight if it goes from committee of the whole to the general council meeting. Is that right?
Yeah, what you could do is you could make a recommendation that this be forwarded to the city council in the event that that the amendments to the distance requirement are adopted.
Yeah.
I'd like to make that motion, as Stu stated. Yeah.
Okay. Can we have a second to the motion?
I'll second it.
Okay. A first by Alderman Turner, a second by Alderman Donilworth, and that motion is to move item 3A out of the committee. I guess we'll have to vote on that motion, but the motion is to move it out of committee, and then pending the discussion and recommendation at committee of the whole, we could then move on to the general council meeting. Okay. Roll call, please.
Alderman Florian,
Aye.
Alderman Donenworth,
Aye.
Alderman Turner,
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Nay.
Chairman Hayes.
Aye. Motion passes.
Okay, Tom, maybe you should explain it to the applicant just to be sure that they're
Yeah,
clear.
that's good. Thank you. So the item that's on tonight for the fruit market, your liquor license, is going to move out of this committee with a positive recommendation pending the outcome at the committee of the whole meeting. And the committee of the whole meeting is, the proposal is to reduce the geographic distance from 400 feet down to 100 feet. And the 100 feet would be measured from primary entrance to primary entrance of your store to the surrounding prohibited area. If that were to pass, then you would be approved. Your business would be approved. So it's moving on from here, and then it's going to go to the committee of the whole meeting, which will be in about an hour. And if it gets a positive recommendation there, it'll go to the general council meeting tonight. So there's a chance that you walk out of here. Oh, it will not go tonight. It'll go to the next council meeting in 2 weeks.
Okay.
All right. Did I get it right? Okay.
So we should wait here?
I think you can wait for committee of the whole and have another opportunity to address the alderpersons if need be.
Thank you, Evan.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys, for being here. All right, moving on to new business. Can I get a first and a second for agenda item 4A?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
4B, so 4B. We just did.
That was 3A that we just did. That was old business. Yep.
4A, I'll make that motion.
Okay. We have a first by Alderman Turner, a second by Alderwoman Florian. Agenda item 4A is a ordinance approving zoning calendar number 2745, a map amendment from R5 Limited General Residence to B5 Central Service District for 414 North Sheridan Road. Are there any questions to this motion? No? Okay. Roll call, please.
Alderman Florian,
Aye.
Alderman Donenworth,
Aye.
Alderman Turner,
Aye.
Alderman Newsome. Aye. Chairman Hayes.
Aye. Motion passes. Item 4B, can I have a first and a second?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
First by Alderman Turner, a second by Alderwoman Florian. Agenda item 4B is an ordinance approving zoning calendar number 2746, a conditional use permit for a funeral home with a cremation retort at 414 North Sheridan Road. Are there any questions to this motion? Alderwoman Florian?
I'm just curious, is that, the applicant's here, right? Yeah. I'm just curious, now that it's going to be closer, if the cost will be less.
You can come on
for-
up. And if you don't mind, just introduce yourself for the record.
Dan Patch.
So I'm just curious if the cost will be lower than what it currently is in the area, since there won't be as much transportation involved and that kind of
For
stuff.
animal cremation? Yes, definitely, yes. Yeah.
I know a lot of people who it's a burden on them
Yes,
to
it
do
is,
this,
and,
so.
and there's a need for it. Both our locations here in Waukegan, we receive quite a few calls for pets, and we have to refer it out of the community because we don't have the facilities, so this is why we're doing the facility.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there any other questions? I have a quick one for you. Are you guys doing anything about, I think there's some parking in the back. Are you going to be expanding the parking?
Back, there's some parking in the back, and also we all have Peterson and Patch Funeral Home, and I also have Memorial Chapel on Washington. But Peterson Patch, our parking, we're right next to each other.
Okay.
So our idea is there's a line of trees, we're gonna remove some of those trees and share parking.
Okay. Make sure you, before you remove trees, make sure you talk to the city
I
about it.
will talk to the city.
Okay.
We don't like hearing removed trees up here, so.
They're ugly, and shrubs.
Okay.
Hey, Dan, if you will, would you reach out to the mayor's office? I'd like to start discussions with you about providing a service to the city of Waukegan because we have a lot of pets that come through Waukegan Animal Control. And I
Yes.
know when my dog died, I had to take her up there, and it's not pretty. So I'd like
No,
to.
definitely, yeah,
Right.
we'll definitely be here to support the city. I mean,
I appreciate it.
that's
Thank
what
you.
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for being here. Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Alderman Florian?
Aye.
Alderman Donenworth?
All right.
Alderman Turner?
Aye.
Alderman Newsome? Aye. Chairman Hayes?
Aye. Motion passes. Can I get a first and a second for agenda item 4C?
So moved.
Second.
First by Alderwoman Florian, second by Alderman Donilworth. Agenda item 4C is an ordinance creating a Class B fraternal society or club liquor license for the Waukegan Yacht Club located at 199 North Harbor Place. Are there any questions to the motion? Alderwoman Florian?
Hi,
Hi, I'm Nikki Sullivan. I'm the Commodore of the Waukegan Yacht Club.
nice to meet you, Nikki. So, when I was reading your application, in one part of it, it said there was not going to be any food served, and then in another part, it said there was going to be food served. So is there food or is there no food?
There is food.
And you're cooking it on premises?
We are cooking it on premise.
Okay, you may want to correct that in the application, because it did say no food at one point, so.
I think maybe perhaps what you had seen is that the city license, for reasons that I'm not entirely clear about, was initially issued with no food. That would be, I believe, the spot where it said that. And we'll be correcting that, as well as adding the entertainment device, because we have one of those touch tunes devices on the wall.
Okay. Alderman Turner?
When are you going to start serving food?
Depending on the outcome of the 20th on May 22nd.
I only ask because food at the yacht club used to be the best kept secret in Waukegan. It was phenomenal down here. So I'm anxious for you to get back in business, Commodore, and congratulations. Thank you.
Pleased to say that we have our best chef back.
Outstanding.
Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Roll call, please.
Alderman Florian?
Aye.
Alderman Donenworth?
All right.
Alderman Turner?
Aye.
Alderman Newsome? Nay. Chairman Hayes?
Aye. Motion passes. Can I have a first and a second for agenda item 4D?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
First by Alderman Turner, second by Alderwoman Florian. Agenda item 4D is an ordinance further amending section 14-484 regarding the operation of mobile food vendors on private property in the city. First, let me ask, are there any questions?
Go ahead, Tom.
Okay. Maybe, given the comments, Noel, if you don't mind, or Stu, just addressing why this is on the agenda and what the issue that it's fixing.
Yes, so previously, we had done an adoption of where food trucks were going to be allowed. And just to be clear, there are limited places where they are allowed in the city. Now, whether there are food trucks that are operating illegally, that's something that's an enforcement issue. But where they are permitted, they're permitted on Clayton between County and Genesee from 8 a.m. to 2 a.m., from Steiner Concert Grounds during times the area is designated as a festival zone, the Waukegan Municipal Beach, 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., subject to a vendor agreement. You have to sign an agreement, a license agreement with us. And then also at Fountain Square, when the casino it basically invites you on the private property. And the private property issue was one of the issues here, is that we did have certain, some of our corporate businesses that maintain places of business. They wanted to have a food truck for their employees to come on their premises at times. And our ordinance previously didn't really allow that. And so we changed it to say that they would be allowed on private property. The problem is that private property can also mean residential private property. And so staff noted that this could mean that someone could pull a food truck up into their driveway. Now, that was not the intent of our amendments. And sometimes we don't catch everything. And so staff raised this and said, can we clarify that you cannot have a food truck parked on a residential driveway? That doesn't mean that you can't have them for like a special event, like a block party. Maybe that would come along with a special event. But you cannot just have someone pull up a taco truck in your driveway and allow people to sell. That was never the intent of the original amendments that we just did. This is a cleanup, basically.
Okay. Alderwoman Florian.
So what about if, I know when I turned 50, I had a food truck come to my house just for my party. It wasn't to sell to neighbors, it was just for my party. Is that still allowed?
That would have to go with, you'd have to have a special event permit for that. Yeah. 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 So here's the issue, is that the language, when it was amended, said that food trucks would be allowed on private property with the written permission of the property owner 7 days a week between the hours of 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. That's what we amended. So that would allow private businesses, including shopping centers. Home Depot wanted to have one out in front, and the landlord of the shopping center wanted to have it. That would be okay. The issue, if Farnsteel wanted to have a food truck in their parking lot for their employees or for like an employee appreciation day, that would be okay during those permitted hours. The problem is that we did not want to create any time someone could park on a residential property on the driveway and allow this anytime. That's what we were trying to avoid.
Is there a definition of food truck? It's kind of broad and vague, isn't it?
Yes. So mobile food vendors are defined in our ordinance, and I'll pull that up. Okay, so mobile food vendor includes a mobile food dispenser and a mobile food preparer. Mobile food preparer is the kind of food truck where they actually cook things. A mobile food dispenser is like an ice cream truck, or one where they actually, there are some food trucks where they have everything just prepared in a central kitchen, and they deliver, and they'll give it to you like in a box. But they are basically motorized vehicles or trailers used to conduct a food preparer or a mobile food dispensing business. You have to be licensed by the county. These are the same regulations that we've had for probably, I think, about 5-6 years now. And the changes that were made a few months ago were to actually expand where these were allowed, but we expanded it a bit too much. We weren't careful enough.
Yes, Noel.
If I can just add, Alderman Florian, I think I heard you say that a special event permit is $2,500. It is not. That might be a special event liquor license, perhaps, but a special event permit is not $2,500. Right, like for your example.
Okay, are there any other questions to agenda item 4D? Roll call, please.
Alderman Florian,
Aye.
Alderman Donenworth,
Aye.
Alderman Turner,
Aye.
Alderman Newsome. Chairman Hayes.
Aye. Motion passes. I think the issues raised on this agenda item during the audience time are worth noting, and I will work to try to get you some answers on security, health department considerations, and things of that nature. And yep. There's nothing's perfect, and you know how it goes. So you try to develop additional avenues of commerce and give food trucks an opportunity. And we can't please everybody, but I think the issues you raised, especially as it relates to enforcement, health concerns, robbery, stuff late at night, are things that we should consider, and we can potentially talk to the chief of police about, among others. So thank you for raising those. Agenda item 4E, can I have a first and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Alderwoman Florian beat you to the punch. That's a first. Second from Alderman Turner. Agenda item 4E is a resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement with PACE concerning bus shelter advertising. Any questions? Roll call, please.
I got a question.
Oh, sure. I'm sorry.
Type of advertising that bus company is they trying to do
The types of advertising for PACE?
is
I think there's a restriction written in there on to not allow alcohol.
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
So the question is, I guess, is it about the restrictions on alcohol advertising, Alderwoman Newsome?
or the advertising for the PACE company.
Yeah, so there are two different, first of all, I'm Tom Maylard with Mayor's Office, Government Affairs. So there's two types of advertising that PACE does offer at its shelters. First is just all types excluding vices, right? Excluding tobacco or alcohol. And then additionally, they do offer it if certain communities want, that you can also permit alcohol. And I believe that they probably get a decent demand for that, probably drive some additional revenue. But it seemed there was no sort of sense of their preference for allowing it or whether municipalities more did allow it or disallowed it. But they certainly make that an option of each community.
Any other questions? Alderwoman Newsome, do you have anything else?
No.
You good? Okay. Anyone else? All right, roll call, please. Thanks, Thomas.
Alderman Florian,
Aye.
Alderman Donenworth,
Aye.
Alderman Turner,
Aye.
Alderman Newsome,
Nay.
Chairman Hayes.
Aye. Motion passes. Agenda item 5, there being no reports, communications, and information. We move on to number 6. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to
moved.
adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? We are adjourned at 5:55 on May 6th. Thank you, everyone.